Hey class, it's Saturday morning, hope things are going well. We're into week 5. A couple of things I want to give an update on. This morning I sent your results back for exam 1, and of course they're posted on the Blackboard grade book. If you have any questions there, please let me know. We do have a formal appeals process. If you think I've graded you incorrectly, then what you should do is to go back, look at what you've written, of course, look at the questions, look at the Zumba case, and from that factual material, craft a formal written appeal that's looking, of course, at rational arguments, evidence-based arguments, rather than emotional ones. I'll be happy to take a look at that and reconsider the grade I've given you. All right, it's an exciting weekend. By Sunday night, midnight, the first reaction paper is due. Now, there's lots of information in the syllabus about reaction papers. Please take a look at that. I'm sure you have already. And what I'd like to emphasize here is the best reaction papers typically come from, as I've gotten here, something that touches home. So you've read over something within the first 3 chapters. It's really saying, wow, I went through this in work. This is directly on point with that. This is how I felt. This is how I reacted. This is how others around me felt and reacted. This is how the organization got better or worse. Those types of things. Things that really touch home. If you focus on that as a reaction paper topic, and do a good job of writing that up. And again, follow closely the directions that are given there within the syllabus. Those are typically the best reaction papers, and really looking to see what you come up with. A couple people have already talked to me about what they're doing for their reaction papers, and it's exciting. I look forward to reading those. All right, for our chapter material, got a couple great chapters as always, of course. Management's fascinating stuff. We've got really our first chapter on organizational behavior, and this is particularly significant because we're moving between levels. Of course, what we've had so far in this class is looked at kind of macro or firm level phenomena, and here we're really looking at individual phenomena, things like personality, things like emotion. We'll be looking at those. Got some great exercises. Go through those. If you haven't done Myers-Briggs before, we'll do it here, and that's kind of fun stuff. So it's important to know one's Myers-Briggs score working within organizations, common development tool. Got another, the second module we'll be looking at, of course, is looking at groups. One of my favorite exercises as part of this class is where you go on the Stanford Entrepreneurship site and do a search there and get all kinds of great stuff about how some of the world's best entrepreneurs have put together their teams and the types of group dynamics involved with those. So enjoy that exercise also. I think that, again, got great topics this week. Good work with the exams in the great majority of cases, and looking forward to those reaction papers. There is something I'd like to bring up and spend a little bit of time talking about here, and these are the interesting topics of plagiarism and appropriate citation format. So it's very important that when you're doing things on discussion boards, assignments, anything else, if you're putting something in that from an outside source and you do not cite that source properly and include the reference at the end of that, then you're committing plagiarism. Plagiarism is a horrible, horrible thing. Now, I'm extremely concerned about plagiarism. This is a gigantic problem within online education. So if I see something that's been posted, I think that perhaps that doesn't look like a student's original work. What I do is I take certain phrases and from that particular post, I'll do a Google search and see if that Google search identifies as that source that the student has used to come up with that particular entry. And if a student has used, again, outside source, and they've put that in a discussion post or whatever, and claimed it as their own, and pretty much it's just taken from another source, sometimes word for word, sometimes close to word for word, that student has committed plagiarism. Plagiarism will result in F grades. Plagiarism will result in F for classes. Plagiarism occasionally results in students being booted from the program. So plagiarism is worse than the plague, at least in online education. So for this purpose of this class and for that your entire program, you need to be hypersensitive to plagiarism and not committing plagiarism. So of course there's great information sources out there on the web, great information sources everywhere. So when you use that information, what you need to do is to cite that information within your post, within your assignments, within whatever that might be. So check out the internet, look at APA format. That's the format you should be using when you're doing citing other people's work, and including those references at the bottom of discussion boards or anything else. Now with a discussion post, there is a specific format that I'm looking for. I do not want to see any outside information that's not your own, including in those discussion posts. So if there is some outside source that you would want students to look at to understand what you're talking about, and say, hey, there's this great outside source, provide that link, and then have your discussion about the information contained in that link. And again, I don't want to see any outside sources being used and people claiming it their own, committing plagiarism, or just seeing a long summary of some other outside source. So rather than doing that, just put the link there, say, hey, take a look at this, this is the key points, boom, and then talk about and discuss that, whatever you want your colleagues to get from that there. Do not just repeat that information with your post. And if you're claiming that's your own, bad things are going to happen in short order. So enough said. Again, plagiarism, don't ever post anything, don't ever provide an assignment, don't do anything that is going to raise suspicion of plagiarism. Use outside material, put citations, provide references, include links to that material. That's all fair game. That's all what you should be doing. We've got to use those information sources to create new knowledge, to create new learning. Just don't put them in a post in a way that appears that you're claiming that as your own original thought. All right, enough said. All right, people, have a great weekend. Looking forward to great reaction papers. Again, the one rule in this class, never forget about we're all A players. Make sure you're not putting anything out there that you're not extremely proud of, that you would show your mother. I'm joking, of course, but we're all A players. Make sure you're doing A-level work with everything you provide and facilitating learning within this class. All right, people, if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.